Hello mateys, this is Gary Scouts of Pirates of the Caribbean film series here. Today is Saturday, January 28, 2017, and Black Sails third season is over there. It's on the TV that's left. They're doing promo sales about the cast when the cast is there for coming out the fourth season. And that's just what they're gonna plan. So I'm gonna turn this down about a zero quick, or just as maybe about the one. There. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm making some Spanish rice from Walmart thing. I made it from so I bought it for the 4 packs of things. So I got it about so spend a lot of those about for money thing. He'll probably think about it. Some plunders, some coins of plunders things about black sails, like Pirates of the Caribbean, the Pirates of the Misfits, and the Adventure of Tintin, the In Search of a Unicorn. Looks like about the guess. So if that thinks about it, feel like it about last 3 years. He's been presented on February 2014. I was in about 19th. The second one is 2015. One of the great news about Hall characteristics. Toby Stevens and Hannah New knows that about last 2 years. The one she had that about the gentleman she's there. A lot of good to make out for the 6 million views, 8 million views on the Black Sails by production of Disney Jerry Bruckheimer today. I feel like Souls like today is I am very most important things. So I'm here about helping those guys about work on it every each of days. But it takes a lot about 16 minutes for those who laters. If that wasn't included the second season, and many of them, but half of them about 50 minutes. Almost to get about 1 hour. At the maximum, she wanted to know about who banished them. They didn't like it. She didn't like it about joining about the Pirates, Marauders, and Buccaneers. She could have them to join in about. She could have her join British England under the Bermuda Triangle under the Charlestown. And she was in the Dominion. She was in the Dominion of the Captain Flens there, the governor of a lieutenant here on the British Royal Navy here. And that's what we're gonna think. And that's what a part about the characters is. And she has a very good point. Her love for him was formerly enabled to not to see them again. But those boys joins into the pirates. Ray Stevenson plays Blackbeard. Except that one is about Charles. Except that for one good thing about Charles Spano. 1.5 of Charles dying about Charles was choking to his neck and breaking to his neck until he's dead. But for the last 2 years now. What a spectacular place in most in time machines. But it looks good. But he says they can't believe she joins into the British Royal Navy on Charlestown, the Bermuda Triangle. She didn't have to believe the thing. She didn't know about to try those one. Pirates things ever commanded. For one thing, and she was gonna have to do something about reservation of the governor's office. And one of the half about is recognized on the Spanish one of the about the first Spanish ship. Those who had the original big problem. Those two ships have to the walrus here, unknown ships. Did they realize what they've done? He sunk into the depths. Here's went down to the boarding plank about 5,000 meters to the depth to the ocean floor. But he just considering it seems looks like a very naturals. All he knows about it for after he decided to record there about History's channel. What did they know purpose here about the Black Sail second season? It ends in the March 2015. And the third season is January 2016. When the pirates against the British, one day half of the fight war against piracy in 1718. And this has been the whole lot year. I've never been there to the last 299 years ago. One of the pirates wanted to shipwreck the Queen Anne's Revenge. When sailing through the Captains by Edward Teach Blackbeard, they're evil into the beer on it and smoke weed into the notorious pirate and his crew. Like the unsurprised. I haven't known about it very enjoyed things. I can never be once of you before and once it'll be first times. So my dad just told me about it. I watched the Black Sail for the first time on this is all about Stars and Core, and the new one's coming out Sunday night. This is new Stars and Core. I haven't seen about the Xfinity on SBO's on True Detective. The first and the second season. There's nobody such things. One ever came after. When Woody Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey, Michelle Monaghan, Taylor Kitsch, Rachel McAdams, Colin Farrell, Vince Vaughn, Kelly Riley, and Leva Rambin, Alexander Daddario, Percy Jackson, and second movie, and becoming the movie Baywatch, Detroit, San Andreas, and American Horror Story, and Workaholics for Donna, and the Robot Chicken, and Kate Winston, Baked to Brooklyn, and the layover of Kate with Meghan Campton, with her husband Justin Fernandez and his brother Ben, and they're doing great ways to doing great. Proud of them about this year. So I have to tell you something. Someone else do, mateys. See, some gentlemen here. That's just what they're gonna think when they decide. That's what they're gonna think and decide it. So I was gonna have to open this up. Let's see how to get gently, very gently. Don't want to get it messed up. Don't want to get himself spilled. Don't want to get it cost a lot of getting mad. Sounds tricky. Now, we pour in. Okay. And that's gonna do it all the way. All the way. That's gonna take it about seconds. There you go. And this is my dinner. This is my first single ones about Spanish rice for dinner, and I like it Mexican rice from Mexican restaurants. Next February will be the next Monday will be about 7, which is about a Monday. Could be wasted time. So it doesn't matter if you wanted to see starting up those guests. And those who hated those guys. A lot of ladies do. Those who kind. Is kind as mankind. If you feel like this sound like ridiculous, so as a heading, it was his idea. And be sure as to suiting yourself. As I presented it, as I knows here, and so I've been there. So I'm gonna have to cover up with the boiler thing, with the stove thing, with the pot. It's gonna be taking time about 25 minutes. Gotta make sure you're carefully to support my thumbs, and hands, and fingers. Gonna cost a lot of red and hurt really bad. So if you do, those things are gonna change. Those things are about to cook up about 25 minutes. If it gets germs, if you do wash my hands many as I can, you don't want to get myself sick. About 25.6. No, that's just trouble. That's just 35.5. That's just sick. That's just where we're gonna do. Almost 23 minutes, and until this is done about 8:55. So let's relax as many as I can. So and those are the I leave the TV on about for the last appearance on third season. Blackbeard Dudes have placed Ray Stevenson from Thor for the first and second movie. And they totally wanted about the good original stories. Seems to me how the Child's dead, and hanging around in the neck, led by Captain Flynn or Lana. They're not sure they let him go. He let him for dead, but they're not gonna do Charles anymore. So the Toby Hannah, one of those guys, wanted to follow me to the view, wanting the news ones. It could be about 4 seasons. The first look. Those who got to the first time it scenes about the trailers, TV spots, and B-rolls, and coming out there's a lot of those in the first, the second, the third season. Just on my bullet does all those seasons, a lot of them. Though that means too. As it knows about it being choice. And same as it's working out about almost about 133 minutes. Just like that, almost there about 136 minutes on Stranger Tides and Godzilla 1998. That short of it to be good. As it knows about a very strange thing, it knows that it's a strange thing. It's strange. And that's what we're talking about the pirates there, like it's stranded into the boat, like proposal things. It's happened alone in the beach, and there are no crew there. They're but sunk by sunk on the sea battles. On the Spanish fleet, or British, Dutch, or French, or Notorious Pirate for Red Rackham, or Ghost Pirates Captain Salazar. This is going to be first appearance like the bad ones, the new villains. But Blackbeard had knows about following statements of on the games, the movies and TV shows about on Stranger Tides. The fourth movie be completed for about last 6 years. When they have about 20 years, captured the Black Pearl through 1760, with the pearls back after the Blackbeard death for the Battle of the Fountain Youth, Jack carries the pearl, but he gets out of the bottle from the Blackbeard's shrunken bottle. When the pearl is back, when Barbossa, captain in the Queen Anne's Revenge, claimed to his ships for Blackbeard, they're destroying the powerful net, and each of them, and destroying the Greek fire, destroying the Greek fire thing, like a zombie pirate. And Quartermaster, Gunner, Yeoman, and Master of Arms dying about the Fountain Youth. They're destroying the temple underwater. They're led by 100 men of the Spanish Navy. They're led by Spaniard. They led the ships about Spanish galleons. They had about the big shores, waited for them, and those are the bearings do. Those are the gods made. They have no idea what happened about fighting for. They're fighting to the lives. They're retreating. They're going back to the crew of a Queen Anne's Revenge. The painting of the Tortuga, like 1758, with the Black Pearl's back, and 1758. Jack Sparrow, Josh McGibbs, Marty and Conspera's back, reunited, and Malone and Murtaugh's back, still alive, and Will Turner and Henry is back. Henry is his son, do. He was going to be 18, and now they're 16. He is 20 years old. Will has 40, just like Jack Sparrow. Born in the 1700s. He was born about 1720. Could be born. He was his father, Bootstrap Bill Turner. He was transformed into the Sea Turtles, welcoming and boarding the Flying Dutchman into the depths, the seven seas. Like 35,000 feet tall. It looks like certainly it did not know about it happened, and it looks to one of the seas. Looks to be like it about a lot of hundred of them about a year, and seems most of the importance, and look like a part of them, and most of do. I'll never forget or something, someone else to do, something you're not listening to. Some excited about the musicals, expeditions, and one of the colleagues too, like it goes to the college after finish up for the SAT. So take a lot of means you can, study as many as you can for every day, like a week, a month, a year, and graduate apply for the graduation day online for the laptops. Just wanted to make sure to read books, magazines, and writing stuff about the long story, like pirates, black sails, and marauders and buccaneers, and British Royal Navy, British Revolution War, Spanish, Dutch, and French, and notorious pirate, whoever alive, from Blackbeard, Red Rackham, Salazar, and Davy Jones to the Dutchman pirates and the Sea Turtles, and they're prepared to strap their feet by Will. They're talking about it, He knows that Mets too, and he was very stranded. He's got a very realistic do. So this is my TV over there. So there are a lot of African guys and African men and the women was in the island into the jungles. The one that the children's inside, and they know about but British a lot of 300 British soldiers, like 300. For the rest of the 200, the rest of about 500, and those are the who's included about 1200s, and they could be destroyed. They could be destroyed, most of all. And the woman that says they have no idea, she has no idea she's gonna be safe. And she says yes. A lot of the women and children will be safe aside. The African men was shooting in the battle positions, guns proposals, and those who love for the amen, for the prayers for Jesus, and she said they want to be the love of those friends and families, and she see that that's a good be very praying that could be all right. So they'll show you about the anyone to be else like it do, and so be stronger they can, and they'll cook a lot, and those are guys who we're talking about. He was field dressing for the goat. It looks something like the meat. And same is the problem there. He didn't understand they have a saying. When did the pirates against the Britons about all of those news about imitations, they have very welcome there. They don't know why they're here. She's certainly being destroyed informations. So why did they do it? And they didn't like it. She wanted them to against them, and this is quite enough that says I have no idea that those are dumbest things about the one of us say the F B words. Hannah plays Alana, and she wasn't saying the F D word just as the S do. That's what they're saying. So that's a bad idea. There's a lot of bad positions. A lot of bad guys wears the revolution armor and suits. They're going after about the guardians in the town. They have issues of war. They don't know the old man's breaking his neck punishments by his neck until he's dead. But so the captain and the lieutenant and the captains and their spying glasses, 5 pirate ships too, ready for the sieges to the sea battles. Like a gentleman do, they call the aides for help. They're really gonna need decided to how to show the victory. But Pirates will win for the end of the 3rd season. Those are the Blackbeard scenes about looks like formerly Ben Barnes on the Chronicles of Narnia, the 7th Son, and that's not this is Toby. He wasn't gonna know about who mostly in a childhood. But I like it. But I like a pirate's idea. So they have a most never idea that those who has asking do, and they have a mastery to drag them out. They sign into the cleaning off of those of the who shift, and they're figure out and stopping their ships. They have a 4. It could be a lot of good things in trouble. And she speaks, she's surviving the Burma Triangle from the Charlestown. But they're ready to the Armada. But like a Pirates of the Caribbean says, there had never been an idea and she was about EITC. And this is almost 300. That's in the case 296 ships and on the East India Trading Company led by the Lord Cutler Beckett. They have they have 6 ships all around. They have 5 ships around there, and those who may decided to see how decided to see they needed to leave, they needed to ambush, they need to win this war. Sea wars still have the most enemies to do. Captain's orders wanted to the battling positions, gun proposals, and she asked the woman to be a serious problem for the capital as souls, and she was knowing that the community and service. They're waiting in about like total war issues, like about the England Patriots. But the soldiers of the Patriots are the rest of it on the ships. There are 300 of them. Mostly included 50, and most of it included 65 men of the jungle into those towns. When the jungle town was about the small stranger staying in this island, they have nothing before of it, and was his either been souls they never listened to, and it does matter where it's seeing house about great ways about it, imaginations. It's so amazing. She was about totally good job about the 3rd season, about to be acted about shooting position for the musket rifles, the fling pistols, and sword fights. Most of sparings, most is like Horndew. Let's go see how it's about TV shows in the guns positions. They have a shot at him. It looks like in the ambush. It seems no idea. He seems no idea showing on a straight right over there. The positions. Those are the pirate crew officers, like the captain's orders. They made over the issues. It means to be banished. There are 7 ships in this about the ocean. That's have been there about last year, but she was they needed to be recurring series programs. Those has no idea. For every minute, every one of them is really and very decided to see. They really decided to see the spy glasses to see battles. Once at about mid 1700s, about 17th century. So look at this, guys. The pirates against the British ships, and ready for the countering fire battle. Enemies do, as is current. There's many of them, and those are the Patriot officers, and those are the who got the flag. Just like a Mel Gibson on the 2000. Oh shit. Those pirates. Those the countering fire do. They look at countering fire on the ships. They miss us out, and you want to know to figure out. And there's 7 ships lining up. So I'm gonna do as I said. Pirates wins, for ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna watch this TV right now. My Spanish rice will be cooking about and 6 more minutes. So don't forget to subscribe to more content. Follow on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Google, find us in Twitch, live stream gaming channels, Juggy Store on Elma, New Jersey State, Cocker Talk, Culture Story, Hangouts, Tomaleo, and Play Stores. Follow subscription of friends on McJugger Nuggets, Big Brother, Joey Star Barger, Kid Behind the Camera, Bridget West, The Angry Grandpa Show, Grandpa's Corner, Psycho Dad, Joe Bunt, Larry's Lounge, Psycho Aunts, Psycho Uncles, Psycho Mom and Melissa, Manicorn and Manicorn, Julia Riley, Tony Tornado, Crazy in Love, Team Creed, Reagan Dad, Bro Squad, Daryl Diesel Daily, Cuba Guy, The Cuba Guy Life, Nesboo, Life of Boog, Life of Moko, The Boog Show, and Pranks vs. Prank, GF vs. GF, Jackson with Dorothy, Xiaomi TV, and one with Edward Wings, Alison Daddario Topic, Forever Alex Anna, Jim Perrick with Leva Rambin, Jake Abel, Allie Wood, Logan Lerman, Brandon T. Jackson, and Douglas Smith, Margaret Robbie, and Alexander Skarsgård, and Will Smith, Henry Cavill, and Ben Affleck, Amy Adams, Gal Gadot, and Chris Hemsworth, and Gay Upton of Justin and Ben Fernandez. So Zac Efron, John Bass, Alvin Hatterah, and Kelly Woodbotch, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and John Cena, and WWE Championships and Channel, and Baywatch, and Baywatch cast, and Dean Collins, and Michael Rappaport. So love you guys to feel free to death. So you can invite it to the watching about the new season will be 4th. Don't forget, guys. So ladies and gentlemen, I love you guys to feel free to death. So don't forget, keep it rich, mateys.